Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salatu wa salamu ala nabil kareem amma ba'd. We begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sustained the creator of the heavens and the earth, the one you come from, the one we will return to. He needs no one. He has his last messenger is Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear respected brothers and sisters and elders and youngsters in Islam, welcome to the lecture series. Lecture series number 3. Series 3. Apologies now for uploading, but welcome to lecture series 3. So today we're gonna talk about, and all the lecture series there are gonna be 3 topics. So it's gonna be about companionship. That's number 1 we're gonna discuss today. The second topic we're gonna be touching upon it is emotions. How to handle your emotions. Number 4 is how to feel motivated. I think it's gonna be a little bit different up and down. So when we're talking about companionship, we're talking about someone that's gonna benefit you, someone that's gonna change you, someone who's gonna put an impact on your life for betterment, not for worse. Now, unfortunately, we do not look like that. We don't think like that because we're thinking that we're gonna be doing such a great work. We're thinking where our companionship is more important to us than seeing the results. See, if our companionship, meaning our friends, our colleagues, are driving us far, far away from Deen, then that means that person is not good for you. Meaning you should back your way from that Deen, right? No, that does not mean you back away from the Deen because of your relationship with that colleague, that friend of yours. But if that friend is not bringing benefit to you and people around you, distance yourself. Distance yourself. Because you're going to only hurt yourself and be far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not be able to connect with Allah, especially in the time of month of Ramadan as we are in right now, right? So we need to think when we are, not even just month of Ramadan, but any time or any day or any year, we need to be away from the company of people who are bringing us down, who wants to see us go down, who wants us to see far away from the Deen, who wants us to understand what it means to party and do bad things. See, if you're around a good company, that person will tell you to go pray your salah, read the Quran, or even if you're not a Muslim, he will tell you to do something good, like donate money to certain causes, helping people out, and doing such a great work. But in reality, you're not gonna be able to do all that if you have bad company. So companionship, meaning friends. That's not one thing inside the companionship, just friends. Make those your friends who are gonna stand next to you when the world is laughing around you. When the world's laughing at you, don't make sure you have friends who are standing next to you. Not them who are laughing at you or with the people, right? With the crowd. They're going with the flow. They're going with the flow. No. Friends who are gonna stand next to you when the world is laughing at you. Those are true friends. Companionship also goes into having, when you have a wife, when you have a spouse. That companionship person you marry will also determine how it's gonna go for you and your kids if you do have kids. So don't rush into something like that. Don't rush into something like that, because that's not I walk in, I don't like this car, I can trade it in. You can't do that. That's gonna be your husband, that's gonna be your wife, and you're gonna be with them forever. Don't think about it. Think about when you're talking about getting married, because that's also kind of the companionship, right? A person's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. Think about it. If this person was gonna be my father of the children, of the mother of the children, how are they gonna be good to me and the children of ours that we're gonna have, inshallah, and eventually, right? Is she gonna bring me closer to Allah? Is she gonna drag me far away from my Deen and from my family and from my everything that I'm doing that Allah loves? Is he gonna be good to me? Is he not gonna abuse me? Because abuse is going on so much right now with women. As we think we are men, we are manly. We think we can abuse people, we can hurt people, we can do a lot of things. Domestic violence is happening, and it's not a joke. And I have to mention this in this thing: when you're getting married, do not marry someone because of looks. Do not marry someone for money. Marry for someone marry someone from who they are from inside, not what they have. If they were to have nothing, you could say alhamdulillah, marry the person, because you do know that the person is humble himself, herself, right? And that is what we have to understand. So that's another companionship, the marriage, right? And domestic, I have to mention this, it's off a topic, but domestic violence is happening a lot to women. We need to get in touch with our local organizations and help. You can get in touch with a lot of organizations. I'm not gonna go into which organization because I don't want people pointing fingers at me. I'm promoting this and it's like a fundraiser. No, domestic violence is happening because we get women, our sisters, get married to someone, but that person thinks he's manly and he's in charge, and he goes abusively, going crazy, and then domestic violence, woman gets hurt, children get to witness this. So please make sure when you get married, marry someone who's gonna love you for who you are from inside, not for what you have, not the wealth, not the status, not anything of that, because or not the looks either. It will be genuinely he loves you for who you are from inside, and it wouldn't matter. That's number 2. Number 3, companionship. That means your start. That means your teacher. Your teacher can also be your companionship. He can tell you what is right for you, what is best for you, what is good for you, right? We won't understand that, right? And I'm not talking about religious scholars also. I'm talking about any teacher you have. Try to have a good connectionship with that teacher, because that teacher can tell you what the experience in life, what to do and what not to do. The cues of yes is good, and the cues are bad not to do it. Ustad, my teacher, or your teacher, or Islamic scholars and religious speakers, or your teachers at school, your teachers anywhere. Whoever teaching you something, you need to respect them and understand. You have to understand that. You can't just you just can't do that. You can't. And if the teacher is allowing you to do, the teacher is dragging you away from the deen and making you do bad, do not disrespect the teacher. But understand that you need to distance a little bit away, but that's the thing. So that's the third part, that's the third thing, component in the companionship, right? You have friend, you have marriage, you have your teacher. Alright? Then now you have your relatives. They can be your friends, they can be your companions, meaning they're gonna tell you good things about, but if they're gonna do something harm to you, understand that they're your relative. Understand that they are related to you, so you won't do any gandhi baat nahi karenge unke saath. We won't do anything bad with them. We won't physically want the bad for them, even though they want something bad for you. You will make dua sincerely out of your heart that they will be guided by Allah, and Allah will guide them to the straight path, Sirat al-Mustaqim. See, when they do bad to you, you want bad to happen. You want some bad things to happen. So you do bad dua. You make bad dua for them, and Allah will be so angry with you for making that dua. Allah put it on you and put it on that person. Meaning you did something wrong, making dua bad for your brothers and sisters. And your relatives are more. Forgive and move on. You will never know if you're going to die today or you're going to die tomorrow. And I keep saying that because we need to think like that when we are going through this circumstances and these issues that our family are going to attack us. This is going to happen, that happen. No. Forgive and move. We need to forgive and move, brothers and sisters and elders and youngsters in Islam. We need to wake up. We blinded ourselves thinking that there's a beautiful picture. We painted a beautiful picture. And we are literally living in that beautiful picture. Even though outside of the beautiful picture, bad things are happening. And we don't look at the bad things. We're just like, oh, everything's great. But if a bad things we need to be aware of. Aware of things that are going on in our society, in our life, in our country. So that way we know what's going on, so we don't harm ourselves. We don't harm our family. We don't harm our relatives. We don't harm our friends. Anybody around you won't be harmed because of that, because your eyes are open. The other thing, so we are moving on from companionship into emotions. We are very emotional people. We think emotionally when we are going through problems. We do not think of Allah. We're thinking of why Allah put us through this. We don't even think of the deen. We don't think of the deen because we don't put the deen in our heart. We don't insert the deen into our heart. So that way we will look up and we say, Allah, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me? I'm praying 5 times a day and you're putting me through this problem. You're putting me through this thing and you're screwing me over. Why are you doing this? Allah is putting you through the test because Allah wants to see how much you love Him and the Messenger, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That doesn't mean He doesn't hate you. That doesn't mean he dislikes you. But He puts everybody through the test. Meaning He will see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He will not put you through the test that you cannot bear it. So if you can't bear it, then Allah will not put you through that test. So understand, my dear respected brothers and sisters, elders and youngsters Islam, we need to understand when we're going through a test, we need to remember Allah, and we have to insert the deen into our heart so that we would never think like this, that oh, why Allah putting me through the test, oh, Allah putting me through this, why is that doing the falana, why this person is going through nothing, why this she's not going through nothing, why is that? It's because Allah has put the test between them too. I'll give you an example. Prime example is when you look at the celebrities, you look at, basketball players, you look at athletes, and you look at, different celebrities. Their life is not happy. They're never happy with their life. They got the wealth. They got the people running after them. They got people and they're adoring them and admiring them, right? They should be very happy that people are doing that. But in reality, they're not. They're not happy. Because they got the wealth, they got the house, they got the car, they got the blink of an eye, they can go on a trip, they can go do anything they want. But that's not the case. You know why? No matter how much, you can't buy happiness. Understand this, you can't buy happiness. You will buy a car and you will like the car for 1 week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When a new model of that car comes out, you will literally be like, oh yeah, I don't have this. Oh man, I don't have this. I need to have this. And why don't I have it? You don't say alhamdulillah that Allah blessed you with a car. Allah put you in a situation where you can have a car. There's a lot of brothers and sisters and elders and youngsters in Islam who don't even have a car. They walk to school, they walk to work. They don't have a car. They literally don't go to the masjid because they can't get to the masjid. They can't get to the school. They can't. Some of these kids, they literally have to figure out the way to get to school or the work. People who have to go to work. So say alhamdulillah. Stop complaining about what you don't have. Emotions, you can't buy happiness. That's number one. You can't buy happiness. No matter what you are, the emotions can put you through depression. So if you're thinking like, I don't have this item and I want to go through obstacles to go get it. Why can't we go through the obstacle in our life to bring deen into our life? And understanding the deen, like comprehending the deen, we have to wake up and we have to think out loud. Right? I say this because unfortunately we don't bring the deen into this picture. We think emotionally. I want this car and I will do whatever it takes. If Allah is pleased with it or not, I don't care at this point. This brother, this so people have these nice cars, I can get a nice car. That's an example. But why is that energy going towards getting a car, which will not matter to you and to me, to anybody around you, because you will die one day and the car will just go. It will go away. The wealth, the car, they will not matter to you and me and anybody else, and not benefiting anybody else. Understand what you're going to be leaving behind is a legacy. Try to leave a legacy. Try to do good. And try to be thinking positive. Don't ever bring negativity into your life. If you bring negativity into your life, you will be going towards depression. And when you go through depression, you will only see bad things. Even if good things are happening in front of you, you will only see bad things. You will nitpick the good things. You will be graduating. You will nitpick one thing you don't like. You will say that the whole time. Even when the best time of your life is happening, you will think negatively and you will drag people down around you because people don't want to be around you because you don't have positivity in your life. Understand that positivity in your life is very important. And we have to think positive. Emotionally, we cannot let the emotions trigger us on small little things. Emotions should not allow you to control your life. So when you're sad, you generally do what? You're sad, you will do some things out of sadness. Or you will block things and you cry. Because Allah made you like that. You have to cry when you're going through problems, issues. Or when you lost your loved ones. But when you're going to go through emotions like anger, you could do things that you will regret. But you won't see it. You won't feel it. And because when you do that act, that emotion of yours is controlling you, meaning it's controlling your nerves, and it's connected to your brain, meaning you're thinking the way you are feeling, and the way you're feeling is you're connecting with your nerves. They're all interlinked, meaning you need to be thinking positive. Even in the time you're mad, Say Alhamdulillah, move on. Say A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. And for those who are not Muslims watching this, just do breathe in and breathe out. Forgive. Move on. If you're angry about something, just move on. If it's not something genuine, don't waste your time. Because you can put that mind to something benefit, something to good. You can put your mind into something good. Positivity is what you need to spread. We spend so much time doing negativity. And we spread negativity because we think we're doing justice. If someone done injustice to us, we will go and spread rumors. We will lie. We will tell them things that will hurt the other person because we feel satisfied by hurting someone else. But in reality is that we need to stop doing that. We are hurting our own people. What would a person from outside look at us and be like, what is this? They're amongst themselves fighting for small little petty things. We need to wake up, brothers and sisters, elders in Islam. That's another thing in emotions. Emotions cannot control you. Emotions shouldn't be able to like take over your life. It shouldn't be like that. So when you look at the Prophet ﷺ, he got emotional, but he didn't do things out of emotions, because if he did, then things could have gone left, right, up and down. He stayed on Surat al-Mustaqim. But I'm not talking just to Muslims, I'm talking to anybody who's watching this video. Understand, you need to stay on the straight path, meaning you need to be calm, you need to be cool, you need to forgive, you need to move on and use your mind towards something good, positivity. Bring positive change to your community, your society, your world, because we are right now living in the dark ages, times. And honestly, brothers and sisters and youngsters in Islam, we need to wake up. And I'm not even talking about Muslims only. I'm talking about anybody who's watching this video. Just understand this kind of concept. If you can bring that to your life, you will see the benefit in your life, right? Now we're gonna move on to. I wanna touch on another topic, but before I get into that, we're gonna end it off with emotions. Emotions are very strong, very powerful. They could be corrupted. They could be corrupted if they wanted to, and that can destroy your life, because you will then go into depression, and then you go into stages of depression. But if you were to kind of think through, look, what have I done to my life? It's hurting me, my wife, my children, my mom, my dad, my siblings, my extended family, my relatives, and everybody. Because you're one going through the problem. It's as if everybody else is affected. It's like a virus. A virus will come into the laptop. Don't tell me the virus will now go and corrupt your whole laptop. It will just corrupt a little portion of the laptop. No, it doesn't work that way. So you're being upset, you're being angry, or you're being depressed, you will bring down people. And when you bring down people, you're bringing not just that, it's a chain reaction. It's a chain reaction. So we have to understand to keep our temper cool. We shouldn't be up here where you can't see my hand that much, right? You need to be down here. You need to understand that. So we know. I think I mentioned the third topic about. I want to kind of change it up. I don't want to go on to that right now. Inshallah, we'll talk in the next series that I do. I want to talk about something I want to talk about domestic violence and violence in general. We heard the news, we watched the news, we watched social media, and we're looking around of all the things that are going on in our society, right? And I am so ashamed to say this. That we do not do anything about it. We allow our brothers and sisters and elders and youngsters to go through these things. Violence, attacks, you could name it, right? And number one thing I want to touch upon is domestic violence for women. I've been watching the news, hearing about, husband and wife getting their husband thinks he's very superior mentally. He will abuse his wife. He will hurt his wife. And he will hurt his wife and not realize that he's hurting his wife. You know what I mean? So we're talking about what? We're talking about the abuse. That's one point I want to talk about the issues. So I'm going to touch on the issues, and then we're working to fix the issue, right? So our sisters right now are being abused, and they are scared to go and speak about the issue that they're going through. So it's our job not to watch, not to hear about this, but to do something. And I'm gonna mention an organization. And no, I'm not trying to do a fundraiser. I'm trying to bring to you guys to your mind that this is what's going on in our backyards, in our overseas countries, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, and every in overseas, right? And we allow it to happen. We allow it to happen because we're too scared to even speak about it. We don't even talk about it. Let alone we want to let our sister. It's fine. It's not our problem. If you know something bad is happening, speak up. Do something about it. Bring a change. Don't be the person who sits around and watches something happen and say, oh yeah, toba toba, yeah, this ko kya ho gaya, ye to pagal hi ho gaya. We literally said that the person is crazy. Because we don't know the person is crazy. We already know the person is crazy, but we just say it. Yaar, what can we do? What can we help? We can't do anything. It's just between two people. But on the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ask each and every one of us, what have we done when this issue was going on in our society, in our community, in our backyard? We allow it to happen. We know what was going on, and we allow it to happen, and we're letting it go, and it's not like something small. It's really gigantic. Speaking of domestic violence, you look around, there is no shelters. There is no places for women to go, right? Because none of us really take that literally serious. Some of us be scared, it's between a husband and wife. I shouldn't get involved in it. Yeah, you shouldn't, but you could refer that person or that husband and wife to an organization or different places where they deal with these kind of issues. They deal with it on a regular basis, so that way that the life of the children will not get disturbed because of this. Watching the mother get hurt, watching the father beat the mother down. We need to really wake up, brothers and sisters. And we're not superior when you hit your wife. We're not superior when we do something bad because we're not doing good. We're not doing justice. Would the Prophet ﷺ be happy? The Prophet ﷺ never did anything like that. I'm not trying to fundraise for any organization, and I'm just trying to talk about an issue that I think I hear a lot more happening commonly in our society, and we need to understand that we need to kind of agree. I'm gonna end it off right now with this. I'm not supporting anybody personally, but I'm gonna name an organization. ICNA Relief USA. For those of you guys don't know, ICNA Relief USA. Look it up. If you're going through some issues, sisters, if you're being abused, do not be scared. ICNA Relief has shelters all across the US. In some areas they are opening shelters. There are domestic violence shelters also being opened. Please go to ICNA Relief or any other organization that's doing a great work just like ICNA Relief. They will help you through get this process over with and this issue that you're going through. And you're scared, you're worried, and you want children not to get hurt or not to see this, then you can go to ICNA Relief or any other organization. If I said something good, it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I said something bad, my apologies, just sincerely from my heart. Jazakallah khair for watching the lecture video. My name is Ali Sayyed. Keep tuning in. Subscribe on the bottom for the lecture series upload. I will try to do my best to upload it. I'm not going to promise every day, but I'll do it, inshallah. My name is Ali Sayyed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.